Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at paragraph structure. Now, I told you before that paragraphs are the fundamental building block of our particular class. If you need any help with understanding what you're supposed to put in the paragraph, then you can always come back to this video, okay? A paragraph is going to be made up of, at least this is what we were taught in the past, 5 sentences. That was true for elementary, maybe even middle school. For high school, that is not true, and certainly not for AP Lit, that is not true. Your paragraph is going to be anywhere from 8 to 15 sentences, no less than that, right? So it's going to be anywhere from 8 to 15 sentences. Right? So that's one characteristic of our paragraphs. Another characteristic is going to be that a paragraph is going to be used to present one unified idea, right? One idea. A paragraph is not used to explain competing ideas unless that is what you have in your topic sentence. Then you can use your paragraph, but that's probably going to be a very long paragraph if you choose to do it that way, right? So paragraphs are used to present one idea. And in AP Lit, that one idea is usually going to be centered around a rhetorical device. So per paragraph, we're going to have one rhetorical device, okay? We're going to have one rhetorical device that is making our central claim, right? We may refer to some other devices within here, but those will not be used in order to support this topic sentence, okay? So one idea, one device. For today's sake, let's say our device is going to be imagery. Right? So this entire paragraph that you would write is going to be on imagery, right? No personification, no metaphors, no simile. Strictly, every piece of evidence that you put in here has to be an image or deal with imagery, deal with the 5 senses, okay? All right. So a paragraph is going to be about 8 to 15 sentences. A paragraph is going to present one idea. Now, if you watched the video on how to make a claim, you should know that a claim, as far as this diagram goes, is simply a topic sentence. So when I tell you what's your topic sentence should be the claim that you're making about the story. And your topic sentence basically supports your thesis, and your thesis answers the prompt. You may say, Ms. Edwards, how can we have a topic sentence and a paragraph yet when we don't have a thesis? It'll all make sense later, right? Right now, the question is asking you, what rhetorical devices does Kate Chopin use in order to characterize Louise Mallory, all right? I asked you to read this story and to think about what type of character is being exposed about this lady. Now I'm telling you to make a claim about her character, okay? Remember, the claim has to be something that can be argued. Don't just tell me that Mrs. Mallard is upset at the death of her husband. Well, yeah, she is. That's a fact. You can't argue that. She's definitely upset, right? You have to tell me something that can be argued. You have to tell me she goes through some type of metamorphosis or transformation in this story. She transforms from someone who is weak and fragile into someone who is strong and able to and ready to take on a new life. Like, you have to write something that is an arguable claim. That is what your topic sentence should have, right? But it should also have what rhetorical devices helped you figure out that she's about to go through some transformation. We'll say, well, the imagery does, okay? And so your claim or your topic sentence is going to combine what you notice about her character with the writer's use of a rhetorical device. You're going to put that all together. That makes a claim, right? Whatever claim you come up with, it has to be supported by evidence from the story. Now, at the bare minimum, we always require at least 2 pieces of evidence in AP literature, right? However, this formula can be elongated. It can be extended, all right? If you have 3 pieces of evidence, we would basically just add a CD and CC here, and you would just keep going down until you were ready to stop adding evidence, all right? Now, This CD then is a concrete detail. Another way for that is just to say your evidence or your quote or the text from the story, all right? We refer to that as a concrete detail. You made a claim, now I need some evidence, okay? You made a claim, that's a very bold claim. You're gonna need more than one piece of evidence, all right? We call them concrete details because you can touch it. That means I can point to the story, and there it is right there. It says here that she began to drink in the very elixir of life, all right? That shows her going through some type of transformation. So I'm gonna use that imagery as a piece of evidence, all right? Now, my commentary has to be my analysis. If I didn't tell you before, the foundation of any type of AP writing program is going to ask you for a claim. It's going to ask you for evidence when you get to college, and they're going to ask you for analysis. Any essay, this is what your professor is looking for. Make a claim, provide evidence, and then analyze it, okay? That's all I'm asking you to do here, except because you're in high school, I'm gonna break it down into this formula so that you can see it piece by piece. Once you move off to school, I guarantee you, this is what your professor is looking for. This is what I'm looking for when I'm teaching college freshman level English as well, right? All right, so your commentary then is your analysis. Don't just tell me that she uses imagery and the imagery shows she's going through a metamorphosis. I need you to explain how, and that is what analysis does. How does the rhetorical device do whatever you're saying it does in this claim, right? The analysis is always the how, all right? How does the imagery show she's going through a metamorphosis, right? Well, an elixir, it says she was drinking in an elixir. Elixir is like a potion. Usually when a person takes a potion, it transforms them from one thing to another thing. As Mrs. Mallard is drinking in the elixir of her life, she's noticing that her life doesn't have to be one way, trapped by her husband. She can actually transition and be freed into another life. That is analysis. Any commentary that I'm making about this quote and this claim, that is my analysis. Your paragraph must have that. In fact, most of your paragraph should be the CC. That's why there's 2 of them there in each block. You can't get away with just putting one sentence here. It won't work, right? Once you finish this idea and you've introduced your first piece of evidence, you're just going to keep going. However many pieces of, or however many images you see in that story that help support your claim, you can use them, all right? You don't want to use 15, but 2 to 3 is a really good paragraph, okay? And so you're going to add another concrete detail, which is more evidence, more quotes, right? Same rhetorical device, so still working with imagery, but another image. Maybe this one is auditory imagery. Maybe it's gustatory imagery, all right? Maybe it's tactile imagery, or maybe it's visual imagery. Whatever it is, it's another piece of imagery. And then you're gonna do the same thing over. You're gonna analyze. So your analysis is gonna show how. How does this image prove that she's doing this up here, okay? Once you feel like you have made a claim, a strong claim, and you have evidence that supports your claim, you have to end your paragraph. We don't just stop our paragraphs. So you're going to end your paragraph with a concluding sentence, right? This concluding sentence seems like it's something simple, but it is very detailed. And in fact, this is usually the part that is going to get you the most points on your grade, right? And it should actually have an S there. I always say sentence, and that throws the kids off because they think they can write one sentence. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to look at this whole thing in totality. You're gonna look at all of these ideas that you put there. You're gonna look at all of the images that you put there. And you're gonna explain, or you're gonna finally analyze what all of this says about her character overall. I usually have my students start this sentence in a specific way, all right? I'm gonna write it here. I'm gonna write in cursive. I'm trying to print, but sometimes it just goes to cursive, all right? I'm gonna say it out loud so you can hear it as well, and you can always rewind this video, all right? We're gonna start to end our paragraph by saying, by utilizing imagery, Chopin seems to suggest that. All right? This is how I want you to start all of your concluding sentences in your paragraph. When I see this line, I'm going to know, oh, this person is about to tie up their end of their paragraph. There's no more evidence that they have to say. There's no more commentary about that evidence. Now they're going to make a big point, right? And so when you start there like that, that is a signal to me that you're getting ready to make your final analytical point, right? And I want you, when you first start off doing this, I want you to use this sentence stem. By utilizing imagery or whatever device you're talking about, this thing can be interchanged. By utilizing diction, by utilizing point of view, by utilizing personification, whatever you're writing about. Chopin seems to suggest. If you go back and look at the prompt, I'm not asking you, hold on, I'm not asking you to write about the reader. I'm asking you to write about the writer. So you should make sure that whatever you say goes back to this writer. And that is how you write a basic paragraph, okay?